Good morning. I think you can hear me. Let's see. Good morning. Yep. Okay. Thumbs up. Joe's going to join. Let's do scans. Morning, Joe. I just said, I know Joe's going to join. We're going to move this up. And Joe, did you see Saudis cut their production? Morning, Q-Tip. Saudis cut their production by 1 million barrels a day. If this isn't the start of energy war, I don't know what is. And for those of you that may have followed me into the trade, Pan W. Let's see. Fishing is way more important, Joe. Pan W. I mean, we talked about getting in before earnings under 200. You're at 217 right now. So you've absolutely got your 10% if you want to get out. But confirmation is still up there. So this gap has only been partially covered. Oil, everything I saw as far as oil was about 1% up. Let me see. Just Cleveland Cliffs is up 0.33. It's up over 15 again. Devon is up 2.25. Oxy is up 2%. You know what? Fuck it. We're putting PXD into the core portfolio. Brokerage holdings, and I'll put it in. We're putting it in that one. I'm going to announce it up here. Well, next to the Saudi announcement. PXD. Yeah, PXD. I mean, shit. And if you're new here, by the way, I'm here every day that the market is open, except I just got word, and I posted in the private Facebook group. I'm probably, well, now it's confirmed. I am leaving for San Diego for a trip. Probably tomorrow or Wednesday. I will know by noontime. And if you'd like to get updates, join the private Facebook group that is in the link tree below. And you will get updated, because there are some people who like to join me every day. So, Pepsi. It's got a bid. PEP. Wow. Etsy. XOM. Got that cross up. Bank of America. Snowflake finally has a. And Devon. By the way, what you're seeing, Pepsi, Etsy, XOM, this is my personal portfolio. I don't let you guys have access to that, but the core, it highly, highly aligns with the core portfolio, except for names like Etsy, I think. There might be a couple of more. It's significantly the core portfolio. Uber, I don't own. Merck, I don't own. I probably should take Merck out of the core portfolio, but my assumption is that it's still good. I just think it's one of those names. I mean, here, see, it slid down here from about 118, mean, that's not a huge drop, but they're continuing profits. I mean, it's just, this is a 4-hour chart. I mean, if we just go to a long-term, this is why it's in the long-term portfolio, is while you've had this pullback, it's still not even close to the 200-day. I should, at these all-time highs, again, you want to kind of pick and choose. I leave it in the core portfolio. I maybe should pull it out, but Uber has a cross up, and it's under 40. But Bank of America, I own, yeah. Let's see. Energy names. This should have a ton. Oxy, Viper. UCO is up 4%. Oxy's in there. Venom I don't own, or Viper I don't own. My buddy owns it, and we talk about it a bunch over on a hike over the weekend. XOM, XLE. So XLE here. And this is, I mean, this is key. Look at how beaten down XLE is. I mean, you know, you don't have gap, you have one gap lower. Let's see, which dates back to September, where it gapped down. You haven't even started to cover this one. You did cover it with one candle, it looks like. These two candles where it gapped up again. But 74 to 70, 7280 to 7450 is still out there. But XLE, I mean, the RSI is at 55. I just think it's beaten up too much everybody was afraid we were going into recession. So I think that's when you kind of, doesn't feel comfortable to get into these things, but that's the time to buy. I always say, wow, no levered ETFs? You got to be kidding. Let me look at the levered ETFs. DRV, that won't have one. DRN, which is the bull, already had a bull cross up. TQQQ, I know that one's got a bull cross up. This is part of the chart that is in the newsletter. So if you haven't subscribed to the newsletter, subscribe to the newsletter. I'll announce it on the podcast, but I ain't going over that stuff again. I'm going to keep some things separate so that you do. The reason I want you to subscribe to the newsletter is I'm coming up on my travel season, and I don't want you to rely on listening to me. I want you to have, because at the end of the day, I can do a newsletter easier than I can do a podcast or a YouTube broadcast, because while I'm sitting there at a desk, I can type it out and send it to in your email address. But yeah, I guess there's no, I mean, it does look like SARK. That one hasn't taken off yet. SDS. Ultra short of the S. I mean, you're getting killed on these shorts. UVIXI is just, I mean, the VIX, let me see. The VIX is at 15. And I saw a chart, a long-term chart of here. Is it broken? I think so. I mean, I would guess it's broken. It's short the VIX. So it's the VIX futures, but SVIXI on the other hand, it hasn't like soared. I mean, you're talking about it going from 52 to 75, but that's not soaring compared to, you know, what it should be doing. I probably need to take those out, but they're good to trade. I mean, you know, again, anything with volatility, and that VIX is going to have some volatility, I think. But I just don't see. I guess that's right. Move it back to core portfolio. Levered ETFs. Let's look at the Vanguard. Anything Vanguard? VEA, which is the FTSE. Developed markets. VEA. Morning, Sherry. New profile picture. I like it. Low cost ETF. Spider sectors. XLP. Consumer staples. Wow, look. If you want to get in, this is a good time to get XLP. I think Zephin said, Joe, where were you fishing? Yeah, Joe, Zephin's a huge fisher guy. He goes fishing all the time, I know. Is this like a, when you meet a golfer, hey, let's go golfing sometime. I don't know if fishermen are like that too, because fishing, I think, is like a silent thing. I view fishing as more of a loner kind of thing. Let's look at our not owned. Oh, there's a lot. SC, C Limited. Boy, look at that. Look at this setup. This is a software company, I think. Oh, let's talk about, I do want to talk about Dish too. Nah, I'm going to leave it alone. Internet retail. Oh, is this digital entertainment, e-commerce, digital financial services in Southeast Asia. Yeah, this is, okay, now I know C Limited. Average target price is 97. I mean, it's just been beaten. Hasn't been covered since April. A buy at $105. If you get close to that 105, I mean, you're double top here at 87. That would be, if you get back to 87, I mean, geez, look at this one. I'm adding this one. I don't know too much about it, but I've got it in my own personal list. When the CEO of Marriott was just on, when under the 200-day. I mean, if we're in a bull market, this is Abbott Laboratories. I got out of. I will not get back into. And there's no moral issue. There's no nothing, but I don't like that one. AEO I was in, I got out of. That's probably getting a bounce to 12. You know what? I'll bring it up because I don't think it's nobody wears American Eagle anymore other than douchebags. Well, I shouldn't say douchebags because 12 and 13-year-olds are not douchebags. Oxy, we got that one. TSCO, which is Tractor Supply. If you have not been in a Tractor Supply store, here's the problem with it. With this stock, not the store. The stores are great. Here's the problem. I mean, pre-pandemic, it's a $90 stock. You're $211. I mean, they've opened up a significant amount of stores. They're rivaling Home Depot. I just can't imagine why it's like that. But Snowflake, we got that one. Home Depot is a cross-up under $300. I don't think that's a bad one, but Lowe's should probably be. QDell is a COVID tester. I traded that one. Nintendo, VRTX, Sabre. This is a travel company. I mean, with travel going crazy, why is Sabre going down? Probably because, BYDDF. This is the BYD company that competes. DraftKings has a cross-up. I mean, look at that run. And they're losing more money than ever. Okay, Uber. So that's my own personal list. Let's look at ARK funds. You're going to have a ton of these. I think this week might be my fireside chat with Kathy Woods. Brady Corporation, Tiva, Etsy I've got, HLXL, Hexel. I don't even know what they do. Man, there's a lot of cross-ups. If you've got TrendSpider, Wix, I know there was a listener who asked me about Wix, and I think it was back here. I said, take your profits. Not worth running into all-time highs. And then, boom, you're down at $76. Sunoco, this is oil and gas, BYDD. I don't see anything that I would. Taboola, it's up 4% in pre-market. This is a genomics, I think, CareDx. Maybe that's like Teladoc or something. Intuit got a cross up. Okay. ARC Holdings, nothing that I really want to lead anybody into. Dow Jones. Let's look at Dow Jones. It's only 30 stocks. Do I have the weekly stock pick? If you're not subscribed to the weekly stock picks newsletter, you're crazy. The dude has his performance. Let's see. I'm gonna make mention of this. I mean, just performance tracking. His performance is, you know what? Let's go to Seeking Alpha 2 because I want to look at DJA. DIA. That's what I want. DIA. And then we're going to chart against SPY, QQQ, and IWM. Compare. And we'll go year to date. And you'll see DIA is below IWM. But the good news is everything's trending up. I mean, that's the good news. I should probably share this. I don't know. Let me see. If I include that link, does it just... It does. Some bitch. Okay. I'm going to include this. I'm going to include that link in the newsletter and in the notes. I mean, who am I kidding? I include it in the notes too. Okay. Into it. Dow Jones 30 Travelers. I mean, I should include all the Dow. I mean, it's only 30 stocks. And look at how many. Merck, Dow, PG. 3M I will not include. 3M is just a, I mean, I think it's a bad company. We talk about good companies with good management, with good earnings, and good products. 3M, I think the management takes a hit. I think the products take a hit. And the only reason I say the products is because the earplugs, the lawsuit with the earplugs. Oh, the nanny's here. Nanny parked in the road. I don't know why she doesn't park up top. We'll see. Wow, look at this NASDAQ 100. The earplugs lawsuit and the Forever Chemicals lawsuit. If you haven't heard today, they're halting a lawsuit against 3M for Forever Chemicals. That every other company has gone into an agreement with. Larry! Into it. I probably scare the dogs when I do that. We had a rough night with one of the dogs. Pepsi I've got, VRTX, I'd rather have Merck. Even though you're probably, I mean, honest to God, you're probably bouncing back up there. I'm just not going to bring it. Fastenal, Fang, great dividend, great, company. Gilead, nah. I mean, Ross Stores, I'm a tech guy. Booking Holdings, it's bouncing off the 200-day. Last time you bounced off the 200-day, you went from 1,900 all the way up to 2,600. And with travel just freaking flying, you know what? I'm going to include that one. BKNG. I always want to sing the bingo song. BINGO. BINGO. I should get my water. I'm feeling parched. Water. Let's see. Hey, since you guys are here, there's 21 people. Hit the thumbs up button. It really helped. I think over the weekend or something, I got like 40 new subscribers. So thank you. And if you're new here, this is TrendSpider. There's a link down below. DSP25 gets you 25% off. You get access to both my algorithms, the 65-minute and the 4-hour, access to my watch lists, access to the scanner that I'm using, which actually scans for bullish signals on stocks. It's kind of plug and play. But I am here every morning, so if you haven't already, subscribe. You can usually turn on the notifications just to know when I am live. But I should mention it too as well. Let's mention this. We're going to mention shop under 60. Motley Fool. Why does it take so long to scan 100 stocks? Come on, S&P. I don't think there's too much else I'm going to find. This one, for me, personally, has hurt. Oh, this is painful. I really should have bought down here at 44, but overall, that one hurts. MasterCard. We got MasterCard in a cross-up. Without Visa. Pepsi. No. Medtronic. This is the ventilator. It's bouncing off the 200-day. I mean, here's the problem. This is considered a COVID stock because here's COVID right here. Prior to COVID, I mean, it's a $118 stock. Why, for some reason, after COVID, it's not $118? I don't know. I just don't know the company well enough. But, I mean, there's no gaps in this weekly. You can clearly see, this is the volume level right here. Let's see. We're going to manually push this a little bit forward. You can clearly see support level here at 88, 89. I mean, it's got the most support down here. But there's a good amount of people holding this just over $100. And the earnings don't look like they're crazy. $1.57. Let's see. What's this one? Let's do a little analysis of Medtronics. The average target price is 91. It's trading at 83. So for some reason, they have taken it down. May 30th, Morgan Stanley equaled overweight with a $104 price target. Wells Fargo, April 24th, with a $100 price target. Medtronics with unusual alert options activity, alerted at 85. These guys make ventilators. 10% ownership. January, he bought $63,000 worth. That's Medtronic. The EVP, president, but sold $2 million worth at 80.55. Oh, okay. So he turned $920,000 into $1.4 million overnight. That's what having options as an executive does, as long as you manage the stock price. Their interest net income has decreased substantially. Okay. It is a $110 billion company. They have $4 billion in income, $30 billion in sales. Okay. I mean, there's a multiple bottom down here on FinViz at 77, so I'm slightly not. I mean, again, I'm a tech guy, so I'm not apt to go into. I mean, just look at that. Look at that Friday. That heat map right there. I mean, that is just. So the bright green was always up here in technology. Look at the bright green everywhere else. You know what? I'm going to bring that up. And I'm going to do another FinViz. Just in case it bounces out of there by the time I start this mofo. Under Armour, Kevin Blank sold what? $100 million worth? Hold on. May 31st, sale of 16 million shares at $100 million, at $98 million. Their market cap is only $3.32 billion. $100 million. I mean, it's kind of a drop in the bucket, but wow. Let's see what Under Armour is trading at. In pre-market, they're down 0.42. That was May 31st. We don't want a weekly. Let's go over to strat. Okay, we're done. Let's go to strategy tester and run the 4-hour algo on this one. $6.80. So you're doing fairly well. I mean, it's at $7. It's down to $7.09 in pre-market. You know what? Let's see. We're gonna look at. Look at S&P heat map on FinViz, and then we'll go down here. I'm gonna move that. We're gonna look at that. We're gonna look at that. Big insider sale of ya boys' fave clothing, UA. Wow, 100 million. I can only hope to have that kind of thing. Let's see. We're going to go dailystockpick.substack. If you have not subscribed, this is the newsletter, dailystockpick.substack.com. Go over and subscribe. The other one that I recommend is my weekly stock pick. And the performance has just been out of... I mean, he's up 1% this year. But last year in a down market, the dude was up 13%. I have no doubt that 1% will come back. He'll do really, really well. I don't know why I'm still getting emails about new. Okay. And I'm going to open up another FinViz one. And we'll move this over here. And we are going to reload this. Forza I saw, it's up 135%. Dunkson, buying DAX. Tesla is up. Faraday, 24 cents. Nothing I want to bring up because there's the AI chairman, or not, that's Summers, the Treasury Secretary. That AI, C3 AI CEO is just, he's difficult to watch, to be honest. The VIX is at 15, NASDAQ 1324, S&P 4285. I think we're going to 4,500. The Dow Jones 3376. Okay, well, I'm going to close this down since it's taking up resources. Okay. I'm going to get myself started. We're going to move this over. Do I need anything else? Oh, let me move this. So I'm actually in the center of the screen. The nanny's here, by the way. FYI, the nanny is here. Just thought I'd announce that. Not my nanny. Neighbor's nanny that parks in my driveway. Okay. Let's get this show started. If you're here on YouTube, just hit the thumbs up button. Please, I know I say that a lot. I should have like and subscribe across my chest. Maybe my forehead, since you can't see my chest. Okay. Good morning. Happy Monday, June 5th. Let's get this out of the way. Your boy is going to be traveling this week. Not sure if it's tomorrow or Wednesday. I will know more. So, subscribe to, add the private Facebook group. That's usually where I'll be pretty active and update stuff. The link tree is down below. You can find everything. The socials are in the icons below my picture. Other thing is subscribe to the newsletter. I gave some bonus content this weekend. Yes, bonus Gary content. I am not going to go over SPY, QQQ, and TQQQ too much because I posted not only my thoughts on it yesterday. Yesterday, I think in the morning, I took a couple hours. It was a couple hours of work to try and do that. But I not only posted my thoughts, I posted charts. So you can actually see the charts, download the charts, look at the charts, see what I look at, and then, maybe read the commentary afterwards. Take a look at the charts, see what you see, and then read the commentary afterwards. That's how I would use the newsletter, is when I do post charts, look at the charts first, the pictures. Let's all act like fifth graders and look at the pictures first. Your teacher would yell at you that that's not the right thing to do, but your boy is telling you, look at the pictures first. Friday, just an enormous, look at that move just in the morning candle right there on SPY. I can look at the Qs as well. The ironic thing is the massive move on Friday was big in non-tech stocks. What I want to do is show you the heat map. So this is on FinViz. You can go here and just, look at it any time in the day. It's 15 minutes, unless you subscribe to FinViz. It's 15 minutes delayed. But what I want to take your eyes from is this is normally the bright green section. But look at the bright green sections. And it just updated. So I can't show it to you again. They just updated it. But let me see. I think I can. Maybe I could do it. Maybe I can't. I'm not subscribed to it. But that was it. The bright green sections were down here. What that means is that I think we're seeing a catch-up trade. A catch-up trade for the rest of the market. Remember, This is a look at DIA, which is the Dow Jones, SPY, which is the S&P, QQQ, which is typically the NASDAQ, it's the NASDAQ 100, and the IWM, which is the small and medium caps. So year to date, you can see we are up in Dow Jones about 2%, SPY 12.37, Qs are just outperforming out the wazoo, 34%, and IWM is up 5%. What I see here, and this is just a graph, is this move up. We've all of a sudden moved up. So it's a confirmation of this bull rally. Now, everything moved up. My guess, and it's just a guess, is that and I'll post this link. You can look at this exact chart on Seeking Alpha. I'll post this link on the newsletter, and you can click on it and just look at this chart. But my guess is this means that this SPY, this IWM, and this DIA will probably come up to meet those Qs, and that will mean a catch-up trade. That's just my assumption. But there is, if you want to look at a catch-up trade, there's an ETF, RSP, and this is an equal-weighted S&P. So what that means is rather than having these big boxes, when you're looking at Microsoft and Apple and NVIDIA and Google and Amazon and Meta, having these huge boxes, and you see down here LIN, APD, SHW, PPG, you see GOLD, you see CTVA, you see all of these little utility boxes, you see all these little energy companies. What an equal weighted ETF is, it makes all these boxes equal. And so RSP might be the good trade now. Now, your RSI is at 61. This is on the 4-hour algorithm. The actual buy-in, 143.88. It's trading at 143.80 right now. So you're probably going to be able to get it at a slight discount. It is under the 200-day. And that's what we like to see. Because typically when you're under the 200-day and you have this bullish move up, you get over the 200-day. So this one might not be a bad one because, and this is the reason I say this, if it's an equal weighted, you might not keep up with the big guys if the big guys continue to push through. But this one might be a decent one to just sit and hold. Sit and hold. If we look at a weekly of this one, you can just, you're in this ascending triangle right here, ascending wedge. You've got these double tops right here at about 155. I wouldn't buy at 155. But the other times when you've come down near this 200-day and you're just on the 50-day, you're kind of moving up. So I like it here. I like this one here. Your boy, and we're going to continue to hear the barks, but your boy may buy a little bit of this one in long-term portfolios. The next Fed meeting, June 13th. June 13th is the next Fed meeting. That's next week, I think, the week after. The expectation is a pause. With that pause, if we get a pause, doesn't mean that it's over, just means a pause. But the market has a pause priced in. What could take the market down? Maybe if they raise. But I would expect more raises anyway. But again, you're going to see, probably some volatility around next week. I think that's the next thing that you're seeing. That's just the next catalyst. Let's talk about some stocks. Tesla, which is up in pre-market. You know why? Because it's freaking June. Take a look at this. Let's just take a look at we'll move this back. Let's move this back to 2010, June 2010. Look at June. Best month, 13 years. I announced this at the beginning. That's why you're seeing it up. Tesla's up. They announced that there was some good news out of China, making them the most popular vehicle again. Remember, you can trade TSLL, I think it is. TSLL is the 1.5 times shares of Tesla, which have been moving pretty well. And I think TSLQ is the bear. If you want to trade short on Tesla, I don't know any moron that would actually short Tesla. But if you want to short Tesla, TSLQ is your thing. XLB. let's look at XLB. XLB is the materials space sector. And what I want to show you is a long-term, we're going to go weekly. What I want to show you is XLB prior to COVID was at 61. You kind of had your bounce up here after COVID, May 2021, and you kind of hit almost triple tops, double top definitely up here at 92, but you're down here at 78. You're close to the 200-day. What's happened every time you've come close to the 200-day? Boom, bounce. You go under the 200, boom, bounce. You touch the 200-day, boom, bounce. So XLB might be a sector that you want to look at. I do have Cleveland Cliffs. I think that's included in XLB. I don't have any others, but the materials got a bounce on Friday, so XLB might be a trade. Talk about one that I like that has earnings coming up, Oracle. It's a podcast favorite. This one has been on the move. I mean, we covered this one way back in the 70s and the 60s, and I said there's one stock that actually rivals Apple as far as buying stock back and then retiring that stock, and it's Oracle. You can see back here, October, in the October low, 62. You're at 105 today. Around earnings, their earnings are June 12th, so it's happening, this week or next week? I don't know. I don't have the days in front of me, but it's probably next week. I read an article. They typically pop 5 to 10% on earnings. It's high, but this is an AI stock. Ride that AI stock. I was almost cursed, but ride that AI train. Get on top, surfboard it. Do like, a lot of like daredevils do. Ride the AI train. If this goes crazy, like NVIDIA, because of some AI trend, something happens, you can see a pop up to 110, 120. You got confirmation. There's a little bit of button hook forming. I would add about 10% prior to earnings, but keep an eye out for it, because if it comes back down below 100, I'll probably add up on it. But Oracle is a podcast favorite. I have not added it. I have traded it several times within this range. Currently, do not own it, but I like it. And I mentioned the real podcast favorite, and 40% of my portfolio is Apple. You want to know why? Apple's like a savings account. Not only do they have the high rate of interest savings account, but you can just put your money in the stock, and they buy $9 billion of it back every quarter. They have their developers conference today. There's expected to be a headset. I had a discussion with one of the listeners with a MacBook Air, 15-inch screen with an M2 chip. That is going to be a sweet spot, because I hate the small laptop screens that I have for charting. Charting sucks on those small laptop screens. So I told the listener, I said, wait for that one, because I do think it's going to have a M2 chip. My M1 chip on my 14-inch MacBook Pro, unbelievable. It blows away my maxed out iMac with an Intel chip. Blows away with what it can do and the speed that it can do it. I have, I think, 50, 60 gigs of RAM just on this machine that I'm using right now. And my, I think it's 16 gig RAM MacBook Pro. Blows it away. Blows it away. You're going to see a new M2 Studio Mac. Maybe a Mac Pro. That one had, but Studio Mac is kind of doing the work of a Mac Pro, so I don't know why they would do that. They're generating $100 billion of free cash flow every year. That alone deserves the multiple that they have. China is still soft. Imagine if they get some boom in China, what this stock will do. The other big thing, India. They opened up their store in India. You couldn't get in. It's like IKEA. I went to India in 2018. I was in the first IKEA there. I mean, you had to wait in line to get in. I didn't wait in line because it's an IKEA. But Apple kind of opened up their big thing right there. It is what it is. I mean, Apple, I can't say buy it here at 180, but I think it's a $200 stock sometime either this year or next year. I can't guarantee this year. It would be a big move for it to move to 200. That would mean that the S&P would be at all-time highs. And if we go back to SPY, you got a long way for the S&P to be at all-time highs. Back in 2021, I think it was January 2021 was the all-time highs. You've got this one up here at 480. Yeah. That move would be huge. So I like Apple though. And I'm excited to hear about the glasses. The rumor is, and I saw a video this weekend on YouTube, that Apple may release the headset late this year. So it's going to be announced, but it won't be released. That would kind of suck, but I get why they're doing it. Listen, Facebook it felt so threatened that they had to release theirs. I think you're going to see Apple just like everything else. Apple will be the hardware provider. There's going to be this journal app. And my thought on the journal app is that they're making their way into social media. I think that's Apple's entry into social media. Honest to God, I think it's Apple's entry into social media. They will probably push into social media with this app. I don't know anybody who's going to be super excited about sharing, but I remember Facebook when Facebook was nice and fun, and it was I got to restart TrendSpider. But it was nice, it was fun, it was just family and friends. You didn't have a ton of ads, you didn't have hate speech, you didn't have suggested groups. It was just basically you could go on there and see photos of friends and family and see what was going on. That may be what this journal app turns into. If the journal app turns into that, I'm all for it. Apple has had their eye on Facebook for a number of years. I mean, look at what they did to Facebook with their privacy stuff. So Facebook tries to get back at them by releasing the headset early, but Facebook's headset isn't coming out till September. Significantly cheaper. We'll see what happens. But yeah, let's see. Evan on Facebook asked me, SCHD, is it a buy at 71? Any thoughts about XLI? Let's look at SCHD. This is the Schwab U.S. Dividend Fund. Let me see. SCHD. It is Financial Exchange Traded Fund. I don't see too much about it, down 5% year to date. It's got a 3.71% dividend. I don't see too much on here about it, but SCHD, let's look. Right now, it looks like, I want to get the numbers up here. TrendSpider's having a bit of a problem right now. There we go. 71.20, ironically. 71.20. You are in this descending wedge, and I would worry. I don't know what's in this. It's a dividend equity fund. So I would probably buy it. I mean, I'm seeing kind of capitulation here. I'm not seeing much lower. Back here in October, you're seeing 67. I think this goes to, remember when I said earlier that the rest of the market is rallying? This one kind of goes into that too. Because if it's a U.S. equity fund, dividend equity fund, it probably gets all those value trap stocks, which haven't performed. And you can see they just haven't performed as well as like all the tech stuff. So I would be wary with the 200-day and the 50-day so negative. From a long-term perspective, that's a pretty big move for a dividend equity fund. So I'm not loving it. But if you're into dividends, I don't think it's horrible. In my mind, 3% dividend. I mean, I kind of go back to it. Why not buy PXD, an oil fund? 11% dividend. It's down around 200. You've got a price war going on with the Saudis cutting 1 million barrels. I'll do that later. I'd probably go in, if you're into dividends, into like an oil company that pays dividend. I think these Schwab equity dividend, nothing that I think is like, oh my God, I've got to buy that one now. So hopefully that's not like dinging it too much, because if you want dividends, buy the dividends. Spider sector XLI, this is industrials. This includes like some defense contractors and things. It's again, same thing, Evan. 101.01 is the buy. You're trading at 196. In these, you're simply, in the spider sectors, you're simply looking for a good entry point. I would say it's not a bad entry point from a short-term perspective. When we go back to a long-term, you're kind of looking at it, just put it, within this trading range. And recently, I mean, October, You're seeing it down around 83. That would be a 20% pullback. If you believe in this sector, I don't think you're going to go wrong. The industrials will always be there. If we go into a recession, you could see this start to come down, but I think you'd see it pop back up. Pre-pandemic, you're at 82. So I don't think 100 is horrible for this one. It's not getting me as excited as like AI. I mean, what are they doing in AI with industrials? Butch from Facebook. Nike. I don't own this yet. Quick look at the chart, and I'm thinking it wants to do another leg up. Bounced off weekly support and weekly candle. Looks bullish. Any thoughts? What I told Butch was your boy doesn't wear Nike. Your boy is not a Nike fan. Nike's fabrics just don't go well with this ginger skin. So I have not owned this one in the past. I think you're right. This is a Dow stock. I think it's obviously a huge weight on the index. I mean, if we just go to this and we look up Nike's somewhere in here. There it is. I mean, look at that box. That box it's about what? A third of the size of Tesla. So it's a fairly big box. It's as big as UPS, if not bigger. I think it's not going anywhere, meaning that you're not going to zero. You just covered this gap down here. You do have this gap between 92 and 96. Are you upset in the long term if you buy this at 107 and you just hold out? Probably not. China's just starting to open up. The death cross happened May 23rd. So I'd be a little bit careful. And the 107 tells me that I think it's bullish. This one, here's the performance of the if you want to, time it, the algorithm makes you 24% if you bought 2 years ago and you had 25 positions, 40% of them are wins. So you have a 4 in 10 chance of winning on this trade if you buy it at 107 today. If you bought it 2 years ago and just held onto it, you're down 20%. So let's look at Nike here. The 52-week range, if you go in here, 82 to 131. So buying at 107, you're kind of right in the middle. You're a little bit higher than half. But 82 in October, that was just too freaking low. That was, it's down 10%, 7.89% this year, 10% over the 1 year. So I don't think you're bad. It's a 1.26. I just don't wear it. I wear Under Armour. I will bring up Under Armour a little bit later. And I wear Puma. But Nike for me, I agree with you. I think it wants to do a leg up. But I think you're in this trading range between 100 and 120. So the upside for me, probably starting at 120, I'd look at selling it. Sean from Facebook, thoughts on AMD? I'm up 7% after being down 30%. Huge position for me. And a part of me just wants to take the profits and get out because I've gotten so beaten up on this stock over the last 2 years. Do I need to man up and keep holding the position or sell it and get into something else like NVIDIA? So I heard there's a new chip that NVIDIA did. And I heard about it on the All In podcast this weekend. The Grace chip. It basically, if you don't know, NVIDIA is famous for GPUs, graphic process unit. So GPUs, hold on one second. I do have to stop recording here. Okay, dog needs to go out. I'll be right back. She's got poop problems. Here I come. Here I come. Okay. I'm back. The dog. Crypto, that's a good one. The dog has, like I said at the beginning, the dog has had, if you were on earlier, the dog had a rough night of, we've all been there. A little, stomach rumbling, a little problem with your bowels. So when the dog cried, I had to go. Okay, let me start recording again. Okay, sorry, I'm back. The dog, rough night with the dog. Rough night. She has a little bubbly tummy. So I don't know where I was with AMD, but the NVIDIA chip, NVIDIA does GPUs, graphic process units. They are talking about going to CPUs. So they will do a dual chip that does both GPU and CPU. Could be a game changer. We're talking about as big an impact on the chip industry as Intel was. And if you're not following me on Twitter, there's a great animated chart that shows NVIDIA versus Intel and how Intel just flew up early against NVIDIA, but then NVIDIA took them up. Well, AMD in my mind, Sean, I'm in the same boat you are. I think I'm up. I don't even know how much. I think my average purchase price is like 95 or something. So I'm probably not even up 7% like you are. But I was down the exact same amount. Added some on the way up. Not enough to actually make it worthwhile. I was holding on to that money thinking that, okay, I'm going to get into NVIDIA kind of like you were. I don't blame you for getting out here. Here's what I want you to know, though. If you've had this for 2 years, start taking profits. I would take at least some of that 7%. I'd take half of it right now. Not to say that we won't be at 130. Let's see. AMD, let's see what their 52-week range is. Your 130 is the 52-week high. So you're 10% below that. And you're seeing the button hook happen on the chart. I'd probably think about selling out. I don't think that you trade it off for NVIDIA. I think you could, but what I'd rather see you do, you're going to take profits on this. So you're not locked out of actually buying it again. There's a gap between 109 and 115. I think we're heading for that gap. You see it below this 9-day right now. It opened up below that 9-day. You're down 0.71. I think at 117, I'd sell it. If I were in your position, I'd sell it. If this is in a retirement account and you've been holding for 2 years, I'd probably sell it too. In my mind, I think you're coming back down here towards this 200-day. The 50 and the 200 are moving positive. You've got this gap, which is fairly strong. I think you could put your money back in at 108. But what I'd probably do is not necessarily put all your eggs in one basket like you did if it's that big of a position for you. What I would do is probably take your profits on this, then take half of it and buy NVIDIA. Then take the other half and buy AMD when it has confirmation. You're still in this as far as the algorithm goes. But see here, see this button hook and how it got you out with 13% at 92 instead of getting you out 101 here? The button hook is kind of late in responding. Again, the algorithm doesn't optimize to the exact high and low. You can't time the market that way. So, Sean, my best take on it is if you're in a brokerage account, you've got a long-term capital gains of 15%. If you're in a retirement account, I think either way, I think you sell out of it and just kind of put your money into, spread it around. Even buy SOXL. Or SOXX is probably the best one. But SOXX is just the semiconductor index. So that way you get both Intel and AMD. You can spread it around a little bit. But I think AMD, I don't want to discount what AMD is doing. AMD is still a great company. Lisa Su, great. Again, great company, great management with great products and great earnings. I don't think you're gonna regret it. But I would probably get out. It sounds like I'm reading into psychology. It'll make you happy to take profits. Doesn't mean you have to get back in, but you'll have that money. If you're worried about that one, I would take that one. Hold on, I have to look at the Facebook group because Brian asked me, is it about BEN? Let's see. Let's go and let's look. I think he asked me about BEN. Yeah, Ben Franklin Resources. It's an energy company. I thought I had mistyped it for some reason. BEN, he said he's interested in this one, basically looking at insider buys. So you can see it's been beaten up. Let's look at what Ben is. I think it's an energy company when I looked at it. Its 52-week range is between 20 and 34. Today you're trading at 25. So you're kind of right in the middle. Nothing high, nothing low. Target price is $24.55. And you're trading at $25.05. Good dividend, 4.88% management. It's financial. It's not energy. It's financial asset management. Down 5%. Let me just make sure that's what he asked me about. BRN. I knew I mistyped it. BRN. He's not interested in Ben. Barnwell. I knew it was Barnwell. Let me make sure that's changed. Apple thought I was typing in Ben. But BRN. So this is oil and gas. I knew it was oil and gas that he asked me about. Year to date, down 5%. 52-week range, $1.89 to $3.33. That's more like Brian. Hey, let's get into this penny stock stuff. $27 million market cap. Only 9 million shares floated. So it's not this is not one that I would say, hey, you can get in and out of very easily. Just realize this one's going to take a lot of work to match you up. So it's not like you can trade this one on a penny stock. He did say what brought him into this is all of the insider buys. And the insider buys are big. You can see, I mean, just for what? It's a $27 million market cap. And the 10% owners buying $4 million of this at 261, 268. The 10% owner, I mean, Ned Sherwood, he's buying what? $8 million of this. He's buying almost over 10% of the. I mean, look at all these buys that he's doing at $2.95, $3, $2.68. Again, he's buying 10% of the company. It's not BRN is. You've got this gap down here between 221 and 250. You do have confirmation. If you got in at 262, around where that guy was buying, I don't think it's horrible. I am seeing tops here. See the trend down here? It is kind of moving downward, but you're not quite at the top. From the bottom, you're kind of in the middle right there. Honestly, I don't have why not buy PXD? Energy. 11% dividend. So, I mean, Brian, that would be I'm not attracted to small cap companies that could go bankrupt just because somebody's buying 10% of the company. It easily could pop to 6. Maybe the guy takes it private and you've got a $6 stock on your hands. Is it worth the risk of going back down to $2? They're losing money. They're not making money. Their PE is 12. Their income, $2 million. Sales, $28 million, but they're only making $2 million. So their profit margin is 10%. Again, that's kind of the way I look at it. I don't know if their profit margin is 10%, but an oil company should have, 60% margin. Barnwell. There's my look at it. My weekly stock pick. If you guys are subscribed to my newsletter, which you can go to dailystockpick.substack.com to get access to the free newsletter. It's free. But the other one that you want to subscribe to is myweeklystock.substack.com. He's got his tracker here. The reason you want to do this is because if we are heading into a down market at any point in time over the next 2-3 years, this is the guy to do. His algorithm is based on the Dow, so it's only 30 stocks that he has to choose from. Last year, down year, he made 13%. 13% in a down year. What was the S&P down? 12? 15%? He made 13%. This year, he's having a rough year. You want to know why? Because the Dow sucks. The Dow, it's not him. It's the Dow. Look at this that I went back. The Dow's only up 2%. The Dow is only up 2%. He's up 1%. And this is basically, he gives you a stock, buy on a Monday, sell on a Friday. Simple. Even people with full-time jobs can follow this one. His algorithm has led him into Google. Google I love. Google I love under 100. At 120, 125, where it's trading right now, I like it. Don't love it, but you only got to hold it till Friday. You know, GOOG is what we buy because that's the one that they buy when they buy back stock. So GOOGL is the one with voting rights, but with Larry and Sergey, you are never getting a vote that matters. Never. But I want you to subscribe to both mine at dailystockpick.substack.com, and I want you to subscribe to my weekly stock.substack.com. Both of those will have you, basically you get, with him, you'll get a overview on a Saturday, and on Sunday, you get, here's the stock that my algorithm picked. 2 newsletters over the weekend, nice and easy. With me, you'll get my notes from each podcast, so you can look up the stocks that I looked at. You'll also get charts like I published this weekend, my look at some stuff. Let's go over some recent winners. PanW, if you got in on this one, I said under 200, buy it. You're at 226. You absolutely have 10, 15% since I said buy this at 183. Your boy is holding long. I'm holding long. The RSI is a ridiculous 79. The MACD is crossing way up. There's no reason to hold on to this other than I'm absolutely psycho. I like cybersecurity. I have both PanW and Crowd. Those are the two. Oh, not Crown. What am I typing in? CRWD is the stock. But I have both. Crowd is down 0.94. PanW is up 4% today. Shopify. I mentioned this last week, and I may have mentioned it in passing, but Shopify under 60 is a buy. Add a little bit. You don't have confirmation. You are out as far as the algorithm goes. Shopify is the latest Motley Fool recommended buy. And I do think, while they're expensive, I think they got rid of their cost. So, unlike Amazon, they don't do fulfillment. So they got rid of their cost center. They basically hire that out. They got rid of employees, which is overhead, and they're cutting costs. Year to date, they're up 67%. 67% average target price, 60. Under 60, you buy this one. The last time it was covered, downgrade, neutral to underperform, but they didn't put a price target on it. May 9th, hold to sell, DZ Bank, 47. They put a price target of $55 on it. May 9th, same time. Overweight to neutral, but they upped their price target by $10. May 5th, upgrade, UBS, sell to neutral, 34 to 64. All of these upgrades were basically because they cut costs. Simple as that. I think it's a $65 stock. I think you can buy it under 60. I think, again, 65 is not crazy. Their earnings aren't coming up till later, so they really don't have a catalyst. So add carefully. I do own a lot of this. Oxy, Occidental Petroleum Oil, is up today. We will go over that. Oxy, it was under 60. It's over 60, $60.80. The algorithm has you buy at $59.73. I think you could get it under 60. Warren Buffett continues to buy this one in big lots. Mara went under 10. Did you get it under 10? Because right now we are at $9.94. I think it's a $12 stock. I think you continue this upward trend. You can see the ascending wedge. I think it's a $12 stock. You have no catalyst other than the Bitcoin price. NVIDIA continues to go down. This is part of the core portfolio. Actually, it's up today. $394. This one traded down in the 380s today. Add it under 400. Under 400, add it. We didn't touch this 370 mark within the 366, 365, somewhere in that neighborhood. This gap right here, if you didn't touch this, you're fine. This provides you support around 360. I'm going to add more under 400. I'm continuing to add that. DPST. We talked about TPST being the regional bank trade. Schwab being the long-term one that you want to buy. DPST went through their 10-to-1 price 10-to-1 reverse split. They're trading at $57.75, which, remember, if you bought it at $5.75, you're even. If you bought it at $4, you're way up. But it just had another cross up, $59.80. You're trading at $57.51, so you're under that one. You can see the ascending wedge. If you want to get into this one, the 200-day is moving down. The 50-day is obviously moving down. But you know what? The 9 and the 21 are moving up. So you can take a chance. Again, the algorithm has you in at $59.80. AI. This is C3 AI. I think the CEO is a joke. I think the company is a joke. It's a good trade. This is just based on the AI. I think when this gets to 30, I think you could easily move it back to 35. I think if it gets into the 20s, you absolutely start buying this one just because I think the AI train, again, you surf the AI train. While it's going, you just surf it. And I saw on, and I know you said this, Zevin, Boyle. Boyle's up 10%. You are still out as far as the algorithm goes. The RSI, like I said, it's super, super low. I still think that KOLD has all the momentum, but what you're seeing is that the 9-day is still in a downward trend. The 21 days in a downward trend. Those Bollinger Bands are opening up. So I'd wait for them to cinch because you can see here where they cinched and then you have to move down. So I'd probably wait for those Bollinger Bands to give me more of a sign because the two, again, don't fight the trend. You've got the trend down here, but you are up 10% today. Can't argue with that. Can't argue if you traded it. FYI, Long Beach Terminal, which is the terminal that played all the problems with the shipping nightmare that happened in 2021, I think it was. They're shutting down for a day because of labor issues. Just putting it out there. Maybe you look at some shippers. Maybe you look at Zim. Maybe GOGL. Maybe EGLE. Some of these. They might take a hit. They might be worthwhile buying on the bounce back up. But just putting it out there, the news hit. None of these are I think, long-term plays. I think shipping was overdone. I think it's in the dumper now, and I think you're just going to see it come back to regular prices. Saudis cut oil by 1 million barrels per day. This is a simple supply and demand issue. They're seeing the price of oil under 70. Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to cut it by $1 million a day, even though we expect demand to go up because of the summer driving season in America, because of China reopening. We're going to cut it. You know what you want to do? PXD. And I like it so much with that news, I added PXD to the core portfolio. Yeah, PXD, here's what. This was a $150 stock when oil was up near 120 or so. 265. 265. So 250 was its high. This was November up here, 260. I think you get back there if there's more news of it being purchased by Exxon. While you wait for it to go up, you get an 11% dividend that has been paid out on a regular basis. And you just missed the ex-dividend date. Under $200, you could have gotten it here before the ex-dividend date. The ex-dividend date was done. That's a 3% dividend right there. But so in my mind, when the Saudis do that, you go in and you look at PXD. I think that's the safest play right now. Under Armour, I wanted to point this out. Like I said, I don't wear Nike. I do wear Under Armour. But May 31st, the executive chair and brand chief, Kevin Plank, sold 16 million shares. That's worth $98 million. $98 million he sold. And Under Armour hasn't really responded to that too much. It's down, but you can see recently it's gotten a leg up. 660 was the buy on May 30th. Then he bought a ton of shares, sold a ton of shares, and it went up. I mean, he sold a bunch. I don't exactly know what's going on, but you got this gap up here between 751 and 774. That's a nice 10% move if you get that one. I got a ton of scans that I did. Ton of scans. I can go over them. I can look at the charts. But I think what I'm going to do is put these in the newsletter. I'll go over some of them. Pepsi, I think anything under 190 on Pepsi, I think you absolutely add. You're touching the 200-day, which is right down here at 180. The 50 days kind of turning negative, but the 21 and the 9-day, they're moving positive, and the 200-day still positive. You're just passing your ex-dividend date, but that got to cross up at 184. One that I personally own, and I probably shouldn't, is Etsy. Etsy was a pandemic winner. It's been taken back. I mean, if we just look at it, the algorithm has a cross up here at 85. I like it, but pre-pandemic, it was at 64. I don't know if it's still going down to 64. So I'd be careful with this one. I don't know that I'd necessarily add it long term. I'm still holding it, and I'm holding it at about, I think, a 20% loss. So I'm not doing well. I'm slowly adding, but it's just continuing to go down. Exxon had a cross up. XOM, we just talked about PXD. XOM has a little bit less of a dividend. I think it's 3%, somewhere in that neighborhood. 3.44. Its PE is okay. $127 price target. You're at 106. The cross up happened at 106.03. So nice and easy. Bank of America. There is news that banks will have to make an additional 20% onto their deposits. 28.92. I think anything under 30, I'm holding. Under 30, I think it's fine. I think it's absolutely fine. Snowflake. We talked about Snowflake. This is a big winner. I told you add it at 148. You're at 175. This one gets a secondary cross up. It's just a secondary cross up. It got you out with this loss down here, 153, a week ago. But you're back in at 178. I'm holding average price around 180. I'm adding to it now. Devon Energy. This is the largest dividend payer on the S&P. They're having some cost issues. It's cost issues. It's not demand issues. And, $48 is the buy-in. Anything under 50, I think is just a golden price. 9.29% dividend. I think I'd rather add PXD. I think PXD has much higher opportunity on the upside just because of Devon's current operational issues. But I think you can add Devon. The other one I think you can add because, who's adding to it is legendary investor Warren Buffett, Oxy. Oxy is over 60. I think anything under 60. It got a buy-in here at 59.73. Uber. I think Uber is a $40 stock. I said wait till it goes back down to 30. It got a cross up here. So I thought it was coming back to cover this gap that it had during earnings between 33 and 34. It didn't. 39.80. 39.80. Crazy good stock. If they wind up turning a profit again this year, you're going to see this one go past its IPO price. I think its IPO price actually was around $40 in 2019. Yeah, here it is. The opening day, it traded between, its high was 45, its low was 41. So you're getting back to that IPO where people thought it was worth it. It went all the way here up to 60s. So I think you're getting there at some point. I always call it Venom, VNOM, but it's actually Viper Energy. This is one that my friend owns. I don't own. It has been recommended. I think it's got a good dividend. 26.51. Again, it's energy has just been a dying sword to lay on. But one right there, FANG, Diamondback Energy. These are all in the energy watch list. So if you just scanned the energy watch list in TrendSpider, you'd see this. 130-170. And Diamondback has a really good dividend from what I remember too. I don't personally own this, but yeah, it's 6.92%. So again, most of these are in ranges. OIH, which is the oil drillers, oil services. These are the guys that basically the picks and the shovels. 272. I wouldn't trade this one. I'd just buy it. It's under the 200-day. So if you think energy's going up, these guys are going to make money. Shell. You know what else went up? Is our triple levered oil futures. UCO. This is an ultra crude oil future. 24.11. It's up 2% today, 24.69. So you can get it around there. If the Saudis start cutting again, I think you're getting back to this 200-day. It's under the 200-day. The 200-day is at 26.71. That's a nice 10% move. The RSI is a little bit up there. But again, if we just continue to see supply dwindle, I think the price goes up. And you know what else is bullish? Is XLE has a cross up. XLE is the spider sector for energy. And an XLE cross up is at $80.05. You're at $80.52. Again, trade these for entry points. Nothing other than entry points. So the rest of the list, I did put one in there, and I want to bring it up. C Limited. This is a China internet play. 59.66 is the buy-in, and you're trading right there, right at about that range today. The only reason I brought this up is I see this gap up here at 79. I see the death cross happening, which is danger. But I also see this button hook, and I see the RSI down at 31, and I see the MACD crossing up, and I see it moving. So I don't know. Maybe you take the chance on this one. I bring it up because I don't think anybody's even looking at this stuff. But I like that one. The other one that I really like is Win. Vegas is coming back. Win is under its 200-day. And typically when it gets under the 200-day, with a travel stock in particular, it's going to go over the 200-day. The last time this was under the 200-day was October at 57. Imagine if you bought it at 57. Now you're sitting at 100 and you're pissed off because you didn't sell it at 115. But it's going back to 115. So if you can get it under 100, I think Win under 100 is great. There's a bunch of others. I'll put them all in the newsletter. If you want me to do a chart, simply reply to the newsletter. I'll post a chart of the algorithm. Again, so subscribe to the newsletter at dailystockpick.substack.com. If you like TrendSpider, there's a link below, 25% off, DSP25. You get access. I'll send you a welcome letter, and it's easy. It's plug and play. The welcome letter includes links for both algorithms, the 4-hour and the 65-minute. The 65-minute can be used for day trading. Simple as that. I also send you links where you can import all the watch lists. These watch lists include the core portfolio, which I just added PXD to, energy names that I trade, levered ETFs, low-cost Vanguard ETFs. If you just want to buy and forget it, look for entry points, spider sectors. And there's a whole bunch more that you can scan in this stuff. The scanners that I give you are both a 4-hour scanner and any stock that is currently in the 65-minute day trading window to buy. If you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. Think about subscribing. I'm here every morning, but subscriptions always help. Hit the alert button so you know when I'm here. I am traveling this week, so there might be some spottiness on shows, on podcasts, but if you subscribe to the newsletter, I'll make sure I have at least one newsletter out every day that the market is open. And sometimes on the weekends, I'll give you a bonus. I'll just give you a bonus. And make sure you subscribe to my weekly stock as well. His weekly stock is Google, so get Google today at a good price. Get out on Friday. Start making that money. The other sponsor that I have is Visible. If you're paying more than $25 for your phone service, no reason not to switch to Visible. Here's a bonus for you. I give you $20 off your first month. So your first month is $5. If you have an eSIM, simply go on there, download an eSIM, get a new number, and then if you like it, for $25 a month instead of your $45 a month, you basically cut your cost in half, and you got an eSIM, and you port your number over. Simple as that. But the link is down below. Hit me up with any questions on the private Facebook group. You'll see all the social icons on the link tree. Any questions that you have, just hit me up. So let me know what questions you have. I will talk to you most likely tomorrow. I'll post in the private Facebook group or on YouTube here. I'll do a post as well if I'm not going to be on. Okay. Take care. Okay. I went long today. Share, export song to disk. Bum, bum, bum. And I got to go into... Oh, hold on. Oh, that wasn't her. I thought it was the dog. Thought it was the dog at the door crying. Dog owners will understand. FNGU versus TQQQ. I don't even know what FNGU is. Oh, is this the FANG one? Yeah. Take your pick. FNGU. Let's Google. First off, it's a Canadian. So if you're allowed to trade it without fees, kudos to you, but it's a Canadian one. FNGU is. Let's see. Let's go here. FNGU versus TQQ. Just go. I mean, all you got to do is go to Seeking Alpha. FNGU is up 302% versus TQQQ up 117%. So, yeah, Uraj. I mean, take your pick. These are just, they're trading mechanisms. It's not like one is better than the other or one you should hold long term. They're ETFs. They take fees out of it. They trade derivatives to try and keep a triple levered rating. You can do whichever one you want, but FNGU, I see it's Canadian. I typically stay with kind of American just because I'm never sure if there's fees. So, let me see. Yeah, CryptoSmith, SCHD is a good one. I mean, if you like dividend, SCHD does it. There's a couple of others out there too. Has FNU sold Tesla? It doesn't hurt, man. You got to profit. I'm still not in Tesla. So don't be too upset. I'm still not in. At all. Save. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. FNGU, I just don't know enough about, but I would look at. I just Googled it and I found out it's Canadian. Exchange Traded Fund. It's on the New York Stock Exchange, so it shouldn't have fees. But it does. It looks like it just started in 2018. It's up 291% year to date, 57%. FANG Plus Index. Just Google it. I mean, you can find enough about it by Googling it. You know, look at what it's made up of. But I guarantee, yeah, it's levered, so it definitely uses derivatives. It's got Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. So no wonder you're way up. MVIS. What is MVIS? Microvision. Dude, these dollar stocks have look at that. I mean, if you're smart enough to get into Microvision, let's see how bad this company is. How much of a risk this is. $882 million in market cap, losing $59 million. Technology, science, instruments, blah, blah, blah. Sells LiDAR sensors used in automotive safety and autonomous driving. These guys are options exercise. I mean, big amounts in December, May, but nobody's selling. Yeah, you're just getting back up to where you were in September of last year. So here's the algorithm. Without this current gain, the algorithm loses you 63% versus you lost 80% if you bought 2 years ago. So it's crazy that it's running, but I mean, good luck. You could put your money into these stocks, but you'll be like, most angel investors. You lose the majority, 99% of the time. The 1% better be that, 14,000% gain. SMMT. Ooh, that's up 5%. Sherry, man, you're doing well on this. I mean, I think you guys got in around 150. Fubo's good. Let's see what Fubo's doing. And that dude just bought, I mean, that billionaire put a lot of money into that company. Fubo's up 6%, $1.79. Uber's up over 40. Let me see. I'll tell you. And I track my large portfolio. My parents are texting me. You've got to be doing well with all that Apple stock that you own. Listen, it's probably a proud parent moment when they look at Apple stock. Wow, I am doing really well today. What's Apple up? Apple's up 1.47%. It's at 183. I'm up 0.94%. So I got some stuff bringing me down. But I'm beating the index. The NASDAQ is up 0.24. And I'm at 0.94. The S&P is up 0.14. I'm up 0.94. Should I say it again? I'm up 0.94. And it's funny because I'm in this, I kind of, with Twitter, I talk enough with Tesla folks. Man, Mars, I think it's Mars blog or something, the dude who does all the self-driving videos and stuff. He posted that he's up 64% year to date. And I think his large majority is Tesla. Let's see, what's Tesla up year to date? Tesla is up 103% year to date. So that's why he's up 60-something%. But there were people who were up like 300% year to date. And they're posting and they're totally flexing. Your boy didn't flex. Your boy doesn't flex. I mean, flexing to me, small boy stuff. Total small boy stuff. Can't be big boy stuff. I only play in big boy stuff. Like my Webull account, small boy stuff. I got to rebalance that one. I'm going to rebalance that one today. I'm moving you over there because I have to upload the podcast. And then I'm going to actually get out of here because it's going to take me an hour to put this shit into iMovie. Because I had to pause it. Desktop podcast. Good morning. 6.5. Oh, I don't want to hear myself. Yeah, FNGU. I hope I didn't say, condescendingly, but FNGU versus TQQQ. If you're asking me which one I like better, well, shit, hindsight, I like FNGU. TQQQ is significantly more diverse. So there's some type of safety in that. But if you're looking at just return, I think they're trading tools, though. VRO. I'll at you. I ain't roasting you, man. But you've been here enough, VRO. You've been here enough. You know you're going to get roasted when you bring that up. Hey, why don't we just trade GameStop? I mean, why don't we get Ape stock, AMC? You've been here long enough to know my strategy does not include something that's under $1. or even under $5. I mean, it's bad enough that I'm in Cleveland Cliffs. That's down at 15. But, okay. Create an episode. I'm going to upload this one, and I got to put the two videos together. VRO. Hodl. I think you're fine, though. I mean, listen, if you can make money that way, I'm a fan. I cannot lose sleep over that. Yeah. I am not holding Boyle over the fucking weekend. Although most of that stuff worked during the Ukrainian war. We're going to put this in. Spy. Insert a link. Let's see what else. 'em. I think that's a smart move, VRO. Webull at least has a charting platform. I don't think that Robinhood even has one. Let's take our notes. And we'll put these in here. Copy. Paste. And then okay. 6/5/23. Okay. We've got the podcast up. Now your boy has to go into iMovie. And I got a bunch of text. I got an email too. Looks like I'm flying out on Wednesday. Welcome to iMovie. Get started. Wait. Yeah, there it is. We're going to take this all out. I got to move this. Bum, bum, bum. AMC. You want AMC? I'll give you AMC. I'll move you back over. Safari. AMC. So, VRO, here's my take on AMC. Bob Arum, the CEO, carnival salesman, absolute carnival salesman, takes people who are uneducated and makes them think that AMC is moving back up to a $15 or $20 thing. It's horrific. When's the last time you went to the movies? The last time anybody went to the movies. Since COVID, it just became, and since home streaming is so, Netflix and chill, you can't make out at a movie. You can't ghost hump at a movie. You can't do the ratchety pull at a movie. Movies used to be, okay, the lights went down. That would be where you could, get away from your parents and go and do the nasty. You can't do that anymore. No. So I just don't, look at this. It's a $2.36 billion market cap. They lost $871 million last year. It's in 20% short interest. So here's the thing. When you get that amount of short interest, you're going to have some short squeeze pops. I think that's what you're counting on. So, year to date, you're up 13%. Kudos. Down, for 1 year. No. Personally, I wouldn't buy it just because I'm not trading it. I'm not going to, I just don't think it's there's better places in the market for your money. And that's kind of where I'm at. There's just better places in the market for your money. Like I said, Bob Arum has been doing masterful things with the APE shares. Look at these guys selling at $1.68 in May. Their cost is $1.60. They're selling at what? $4? $5? I think your top is $5. VRO, that's where I think your top is $5. Look, Altria bought at $6.48. They only bought $2 million worth. Look at what they did. 12 days later, they sold $72 million. So they bought $2 million. Hey, let's pump it up before we sell 12 days later for $72 million. They probably pumped it up by, let's look. That was March 3rd to March 15th. Let's go back here. Let's look at March 3rd. March 3rd, you opened at $6.20. March 15th, you opened at $4.53. So between March 3rd at $6.20, why didn't they just sell at $6.20? No, these fools bought at $6.48 and then sold at $4. That would have been a $100 million sale at $6. So even the 10% owners. Meanwhile, it was at $1.51 cost, so they made a ton of money. They 4 times their money. But this is what they're doing. They're just playing with this, and it's going up and down. And Adam Aron, I'm sorry, it's not Bob Arum, it's Adam Aron. He's exercising options. He sold a bunch too. So not a ton. He's worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $400 or $500 million himself. And it's based off the apes, keeping them in business. So that's my take on it. Palantir. Let's look at Palantir real quick. Palantir's got this tiny gap at 378. Are you up today? Let me see. Up 4%. I mean, it's got a green candle over the 9. It barely touched the 9-day on Friday in the morning candle. So you've still got great confirmation. Like I said, I think it's a $20 stock. I think Palantir's a $20 stock. Buy it at 15, and some point this year you'll be able to sell it at 20. I mean, look at that, you know, the volume shelf right there. Let's pull this back a little bit. We'll pull this back to the last time it bumped up. We're going to pull this back here to the last time the earnings kind of tanked it down. And look at where everybody's holding it. So even though you're building this volume level up here at 14, your base is still at 8. Yeah. It's going to be, you know, sometimes I get a little too bearish at times. But I mean, you got to be careful in this freaking market. Okay, now I'm going to put in, I got to move a bunch of stuff. Where's my second recording? Oh, 6.5. Okay, this is the first one. Okay, I'm going to shrink this down. Oh, I don't want to do that. I think I want to go over here, yeah. And then we've got this one. And I'm going to put a text one. Okay. Do I want this? Let's see. I'm going to move this. And we'll put tummy. The dog, rough night with the dog. Okay. Thanks, Brandon. Brandon, that newsletter is going to get better. I just haven't. The dog, rough night. The dog, rough night. She has a little bubbly tummy. So, I think it. Okay. I'm putting in my export. You guys will love when the dog break happens. Oh boy, is that long? Oh, it's only 2.1 seconds. We're going to extend this out. Oh, not 17 seconds. Where's the info? Oh, there it is. Okay, we're going to do 6. And let's do 7. We're going to do 7. Okay, sorry, I'm back. The dog, rough night with the dog. There we go. Okay, now we're going to export this. You guys will love. Should I do 4K? Nah, 1080p. 7.1 gigs. We'll do that. 6.5. But Brandon, you'll love the newsletter. When I get it done, you'll love it. Right now, it just doesn't. It has some flow, not a ton of flow. But the newsletter should. Yeah, the Sunday one, and I'll try and do stuff like that on the weekends. I don't have time during the week. Well, who am I kidding? I don't want to put in the time during the week. Okay. This will take how long? Let me go back to my iMovie and see. I have 28 new texts, so I have to go back. 32 minutes. So I won't be here for 32 minutes, but I'm going to upload that. Let's upload the newsletter. Since I got this. Dashboard. New post. And how do I have to look at how I title these because I'm still not in the swing of things. Newsletter's awesome. I think it, so it's 6.5 pod notes and it shows up in your inbox. And I think that's what I think a lot of people were missing. Let me see. Let me see about the click here to get 25% off. Email footers. There we go. Okay, perfect. And all I do is take my notes. I need to add in more charts. But I do like S&P heat map on Fizz. Didn't screen grab it. Massive move in the non-tech stocks. Why is the Dow up? Tesla, RSP, XLB, Oracle, NVIDIA, Apple, SCHD, this makes it nice and easy. I mean, it really does. NVIDIA, BRN, GOOG, NGOGL, PanW, Shop, Oxy, Mara, NVIDIA. No, Boyle. How is PXD down 1.5%? I'll answer your question in a second. Let me just enter in these spaces. Uber. For some reason, I have to enter in a space after all the dollar signs to get the current price. Oil's down 1%. How is that happening? Saudi's going to cut 1 million barrels a day. Man, there is manipulation going on at a high level. Prices of the stocks. I'm getting good. I've heard 80% open rate is good, and I think I was 80% during the week, but yesterday was like 95% open rate. Let's preview it. Oh, you know what I have to add in a button. There we go. And I'm going to button. Now let's do a preview. Am I going too far down? Yeah, I don't like too much buttons. Okay, we're going to take those buttons out. Going to take that out. And then we're going to put this at the end. We're going to insert a button. Share post with caption. Nobody's sharing it. Let's see. Preview. Go to the Substack. Okay, preview. I'll answer your questions in 1 second. Yeah, it looks good. Okay, mobile, desktop. There we go. And the email. Yeah, and it doesn't have that. Okay. Done. continue. Everyone, send now. The email is in your box. The eagle has landed. The email is in your box. Wow, I have 30. Who's texting? Game is on Saturday. Okay. Let me see. Okay, sorry, I had to text my boss. ENVB is heavily shorted. ENVB, I have a feeling I went over that one before. And just so you know, yeah. The post has been published. The eagle has landed. I repeat, the eagle has landed. ENVB, I have a feeling. What's that one? No, I guess I didn't go into this one. I mean, you can see the volume pop, but it's been losing it ever since. I don't know that I want to take. Have I ever, Sherry, subscribe at here, dailystockpick.com, .substack.com. You have email, so I know you can. You don't have social, but I know you can subscribe to that one. Have I ever owned a business? No. Other than this, I mean, this would be considered a business. I do make money at this one, so it would be considered a business. But no, I've consulted with many other businesses, a lot of friends who own businesses and stuff, and kind of looking at their business. I could probably be a consultant if I wanted to, but I don't want to work. I'm so glad to read that, Brandon. And 4K is fancy. I don't think ENVB, I wouldn't enter it at 4. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's a biotech. If you want to enter a biotech, this is the stuff you got to put up with. It doesn't even have a 200-day. You got reverse splits here just to keep them on the market. Yeah. Yeah, Sherry, jump back in. I have not run a small business. And I will tell you, my personality, Christian, I am too cheap to run a small business. I am not good. Like even this podcast, I could probably grow this podcast with just spending minimum amount of money on advertising, on, some additional hardware, some additional, maybe going to Fiverr and getting a better USB setup where I got a little more slick look. I just don't see, while I am a marketer at heart and I do believe in that, I think me owning a business, just one of the things that I almost bought into was a bread truck route. So, but yeah. Yeah, Christian, that's the way to do it. I mean, PXD, I just think with the rumor that Exxon was looking at it and they got so much cash on hand, I can't see PXD being a bad one. And you got 11% while you wait around for it. You'll get it, VRO. Set up on here, VRO? Hold on, dog's crying. It's 90 freaking degrees in here. Why are you going under the blanket? Maybe that's why you got the shits. I don't know what I was talking about, Pepperidge Farm. No, it was the potato bread. Myers? That's what it was. Myers. And look, Apple still got confirmation. I mean, at this point, anytime it touches that 50-day. Oh, so for podcast, here's what I've got. Here's the setup. So I've got the Blue Yeti mic, which was $100, $80, $90. I've got my iMac, which let me hit about because I'll tell you exactly what it is. 3.4 gigahertz quad-core Intel Core i5. Graphics is Radeon Pro 570 with 4 gigabits. Memory, 40 gigabits of 2400 MHz DDR4 RAM. And it's running Ventura 3.4. So it's a 2017 Retina 5K 27-inch iMac. I also have my my laptop back there, which is a 2022 MacBook Pro with an M1 chip with 16 gigs of RAM. Over here, I've got a iPad Pro version 1. And over here, I've got my iPhone 13 Pro. I've got a ring light up there so that you guys can see my face. And I've got 4 8 terabyte hard drives that kind of save all my drone stuff and stuff like that. So that's my entire setup. So OBS is the software that I'm running when you see me live on YouTube. I hit record there. The sound that you hear on the podcast is from GarageBand because I record through that. I could just upload the recordings from OBS as video to the podcast, and I do that sometimes. But that's essentially the software that I use. That's the entire thing. Yeah, so Brandon, here's what it was. I was going to buy a bread truck that was yielding $80,000 a year in profit for the owner, and whatever profit the owner took, whatever you paid out to your employee was taken out of that $80,000. It was in a rural Florida area. And if I remember correctly, I think it was like $250,000, $220,000. So it wasn't a huge amount of money. And the payback was only a few years. The problem was with the bread truck route, you're right. I mean, it's a huge amount of work. Maintenance of the truck, all of that was already figured in and taken out of the $80,000. I would have to find an employee. And my thought was I would pay them in Florida. I mean, $50,000 is a decent living in inland Florida. And I could find somebody hardworking and probably do profit sharing where anything over a certain amount that I made, they'd get 10, 15, 20% as a bonus at the end of the year. So I was thinking about it. Then I'm like, $250,000, $80,000 a year. Take a loan out on that, pay 5, 6, 7% interest. I could probably do fine. I just wasn't 100% sure. This was kind of 2021, so I could have gotten money cheap. But let me see how the iMovie's doing. Then I got to jump off because I got to make some travel arrangements. Okay, I'm going to hop off here. Thank you guys. And thank you for the kind words, Brandon, about the newsletter and stuff like that. Share it. If you're not subscribed, subscribe here on YouTube. I'm here every morning other than when I'm traveling or doing something like that. But most mornings I am here. I talk about ghost bumps in movie theaters. anything, and everything's on the table. But, and let's see. I think the market took a downturn or something. I don't know. I was seeing oil's down. Let's see. Am I negative for the day? No, I'm up 1%. So I went up even more. What the fuck? What's Apple doing? Apple's up 1.62%. Hey, VRO, I didn't mean to call you out either. I feel bad when people tell me that, but sometimes I have a way of saying things that people understand that I have a good heart and they don't take it to heart sometimes, but sometimes it comes out all wrong. Yeah, Brent, and I'd be I was always a good boss. So I just get taken advantage of sometimes, and sometimes it's finding the diamond in the rough. But I do think that I would have taken care of them and things would have been good. Yeah, I'm up 1% exactly, which is killing it against the market. The Dow's down 83. Okay, good. Anybody that tunes in here has got to be thin-skinned. Plus, I'm a douche on the internet. Anybody that takes anything that I say, I got to show. Why won't that show? Oh. Okay, it is showing. What if I hit? Oh, I do see a heart there. Huh. Okay. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. I'm heading out because I still got, 10 minutes until this movie comes out. I added in, by the way, if you want to, I will put an Easter egg in today's video. I will put an Easter egg in today's video where the dog break was. I don't know what time it is because I don't have the timestamp yet. But I'll put it in the show notes, and it's a special little break. I should have put a picture in there of the poor little girl, but okay. I'm out, you guys. Have a great day. Hopefully I'll talk to you tomorrow. If not, I will post in the private Facebook group, and I'll post something on the on YouTube as a post as well.